The next entry in the Doom franchise is Doom: The Dark Ages, which is set to release on May 15th, 2025, with up to 2 days of early access if you get the Premium Edition. So far, from what has been shown of the game, I think it looks incredible, so do a lot of others, but people aren't thrilled about everything that Doom: The Dark Ages has to offer. One of those things being the changes made to glory kills. We've known about these changes for some time now, but recently on May 1st, the Doom Twitter account uploaded another Hugo Reacts, where he discusses glory kills in Doom: The Dark Ages. He mentions how in Doom: The Dark Ages there are more enemies on screen than ever before, and he explains how doing the traditional synced animation glory kill to one enemy after the next in this type of environment with a lot of enemies on screen could get tedious. He also mentions the ability to do multiple glory kills in succession and says that's something they wanted to do for like 10 years.
There's more enemies on screen now than we've ever had before. If we're asking the player to stop and play a synced animation for every one of those, it was getting very, very tedious. And we wanted, in this game for you to be able to perform multi-glory kills. Doing multiple glory kills in succession was something we tried to do for like 10 years and just didn't really fit in the other games.
In Doom: The Dark Ages, there are 3 melee weapons. You have the Iron Flail, the Electrified Gauntlet, and the Doom Spiked Mace. And Hugo explains how it isn't always the same animation when you use these melee weapons. He says there are different animations, and there's also various animations when you kill these demons during these new glory kills, and those animations transition into a ragdoll, which I think looks pretty cool.
So in this game, by unsyncing them, they're more like executions. You're able to just move from one guy to the next. So it is a system. People think it's just playing the same melee strike every time. There's a bucket of melee animations that we're pulling from. The ragdolls aren't just ragdolls. We're actually playing like certain falter animations that then, will transition into ragdolls. So really polish the physics system there.
In this video, Hugo also mentions how, depending on the melee weapon you're using, sometimes it'll play a execution or a glory kill animation. So to me, that sounds like sometimes you will get a more traditional glory kill animation.
And then depending on the melee weapon that you have selected, sometimes it'll actually play an execution animation or glory kill animation using the melee weapon. So it's this, and it's also sensitive to the enemies that you're engaging with.
This new glory kill system is supposed to add variety to the gameplay and help mitigate repetition, according to Hugo. And he explains how with this new system, you can perform glory kills on enemies from any direction, and that gives players more control.
So there's lots of things there. It is a true system to make sure that there's a good amount of variety. That's actually the point of this, is to avoid repetition so you don't see the same kind of animation again and again. Even though we have all these different animations in the glory kills of 2016 and Eternal, they're directional. So you only see a different animation if you attack an enemy from a different angle. Actually, the majority of people who engage with glory kills are attacking the enemies from the front. So like 80-90% of the time, they're seeing the same animation. With this system, you can come at them in any direction. You're playing a different melee strike depending on the weapon you're holding, the enemy type, which one the game pulls from. So it does help with repetition, which is really the main focus. Gives you more control. It feels more fluid. All the good things.
Now, everyone does not love this new system. I've seen several people criticize it, and it might just be one of those things where you got to get your hands on it to decide if you like it or not. But for me, just from what I've seen so far, I think it's interesting. Like, I don't know if I'll like this system more than the traditional glory kills in Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal, but I like that it's different. Hugo, he described these modern Doom games in different ways. He described Doom 2016 as run and gun, Doom Eternal as jump and shoot, and Doom: The Dark Ages as stand and fight.
We want every Doom game to stand on its own, as a unique experience. So in 2016, we asked you to run and gun. In Doom Eternal, it was jump and shoot. And in Doom: The Dark Ages, you're gonna stand and fight.
And I think it's cool that these games all have a different style. They're still very much Doom, and Eternal and Dark Ages appear to have a lot of the things that people loved from Doom 2016, but there are differences that make Eternal, 2016, and Dark Ages unique. And I like how they've handled the gameplay in these modern Doom games. I like how Doom Eternal and Dark Ages aren't just Doom 2016 with new weapons, new enemies, and new levels. Those games do have those new elements, but along with it, they've tweaked the gameplay, added some new mechanics that make those games stand out from one another. Not tweaked the gameplay so much that it doesn't feel like Doom anymore, but tweaked in a way where the games still very much look and feel like Doom, with some new additions that make the game feel fresh and unique. Personally, I like what id's doing with Doom the Dark Ages. I think the parry system looks interesting. I like the revised glory kill system. The shield saw looks cool. The enemies look cool. The guns are cool. Doesn't mean Dark Ages will be my favorite Doom game. It could be, it could not. But like I said, I do like how it is handling these modern Doom games, and I'm looking forward to the release of the game. So anyways, that's going to do it for this one. I know we've known about this new glory kill system for a while now, but since this new Hugo Reacts was uploaded where he discussed this new system, I wanted to talk about it. So that's going to do it for the video, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.